Deb Shewfelt is the mayor of the town of Goderich, Ontario. He has served on the town council as councillor and mayor for over 28 years, 22 of those years as mayor. So you are one of the leaders in the clubhouse in terms of longevity here. He is now retired from his profession of real estate broker and land developer. Mayor Shewfelt has served on multiple committees and boards of organizations related to water, including the Great Lakes Governor's Compact Council and Advisory Committee for the Great Lakes Water Diversion. He's been very active in the actions surrounding the low water levels in the Great Lakes, especially in Lake Huron and Georgian Bay. He will speak to us about collaboration along the southeast shore of Lake Huron and anything else he wants to talk about. Please welcome Mayor Shewfelt. Mayor?
Well, thank you, Mayor Barrett, and no, I'm not just another pretty face. Here we are. I thought first for some of our American friends and others that I'd try to identify just where Goderich is, and the best thing I can do is I think many of the Americans would know Bay City. So we're directly across Lake Huron from Bay City. I know Bay City's up the river, but directly across. So we're a deep sea port, and as Keith has indicated that we got hit with an F3 tornado. I want to tell you that things are coming slowly back to normal. We appreciate all the support that we've had right around the Great Lakes and just about every place I can think of. We took over the town port in '99. We bought it off the feds, and we spent about $29 million in upgrades, all of it pretty well from users' fees. I'm just going to show you on the laser. Whoop. That little building there in the white, that's a dome. The tornado actually came in over the harbor. They're finding remnants of that dome 20 kilometers away from the town, so that gives you an idea. But I don't want to prolong. We're getting better, and we're healing, and I think everybody has moved on. One of the things we are doing at the port, and I'll mention it because it's a $48 million expansion. Out of that expansion, we're doing an EA, and it calls for us to spend close to $1 million on improvements to natural habitat and things like that. So we think that's good. We're going to try and get most of it as close to our community as we can. So basically, I want to talk about some of the things that we're doing locally, we're doing at the county, and that we're involved with the provincial and federal government. And we have many mayors from along that shoreline that are involved in this. I've been around a long time. I was 9 years with the Mayor's Conference, and then when we joined, that's another 10. So I've sat in a lot of meetings and a lot of good ideas, and a great meeting today. But I think I've gone back home and said, you know, it's time for us to take some action. And so we've actually done that with the Conservation Authority. We're actually looking to raise private funding to do some of the work in the watershed. That's been very interesting because we've gone around and made presentations to champions, some in industry. Most of them have been founded there. And this response has been really, really good. So we're moving forward on that. But, you know, we're a large watershed, 3,200 square kilometers, and we're a big farming community. Next, I want to talk about some of the things that we've done at the Huron County. with our Huron County Water Protection Steering Committee, and I'll move on to that. And then we'll finish up with talking about provincial, federal leadership and what they've done with Healthy Lake Huron. And that came about basically from pressure, not so much pressure from us as elected officials, but pressure from cottage owners, because along that stretch of lakeshore, there is a lot of cottages, and they've really taken action on some of the things that have happened because of climate change. I won't go into that because you've heard what's happening, and I think it's happening every place. First of all, I want to talk about the Maitland Valley Watershed Resiliency Fund, and I am chair of the Conservation Authority. This is a great shot. This is in property that a single owner has, and they've really worked on the resilience of that property. When our Maitland River, which feeds Lake Huron, starts to dry in the summer, that still has water in it. I don't have to tell you why. It's because they've looked after it and created resiliency. And the key strategic goal of the Maitland Valley is to build resilience in the landscape, to reduce flooding, soil erosion, improve water quality. And, I think that's really important. So we've created some targets. And that's to raise the natural cover to about 19%. And reduce absolute loss from natural areas by 50%. We have a very tight woodlot bylaw in the county. We want to increase natural connections on landscape, and the potential in the watershed. There's 2,300 hectares of marginal land that could actually be planted. And what we've said in our approach to the people that we have brought on our resilience committee, and we want to do some fundraising, and we've explained to them, the cost really if you do nothing. Surprisingly, we made presentations to the mutual insurance companies, and they actually came looking at us. Their biggest payouts now are wind and water. And they're very concerned about climate change. In fact, what I'm seeing is at every conference I go to, they actually have a presentation. I was in Vancouver 2 weeks ago at the Canadian Federation of Municipalities, and they put on quite a presentation, brought a speaker from New York that had done some study of Hurricane Sandy and some of the things that have happened. But you can see where things have happened. If you look at the before, and that's probably been an area where cattle have been pasturing, and you see where they've taken some action. And it's just, basically I looked at the little creek that they do over here. It's fantastic. And that's the type of thing. I guess I go back to my childhood living on a farm. 10, 12 years old, and a creek like that at the back of the farm, you could actually drink out of it. And, you couldn't do that now. And so I guess I'm saying we need to get back to the future. And that's how we do it. Let's get some of these simple things done. There doesn't seem to be a lot of money because of the type of situation we're in with our provincial government. And the feds are not really flowing the COA money like they should. So what we've said, let's go and see if we can do something ourselves. And as I said before, very surprised at the reception that we're getting. People are ready. People get it. I think they get it better than the elected officials do. There's a cottage area. We have 50, I think there's 50 of those gullies between probably 20, 25 miles. They're working their way back to the highways. And I think you've all seen this type of thing. Now at the county, years ago we started a fund for water protection. It's called the Clean Water Project. The county puts this year about $400,000 in, and we supply some money. The property owner, the farmer, has to do something, but we supply money to top up if they will fence their cattle out of the water stream, if they will take their marginal land and plant trees. We're firm believers that you know, the farming industry needs some support. I know that there is certain politicians that think it's their land, they should look after it, but if we want to have clean near-shore water, I think we have to play a part, and we have to probably put some dollars in there. And so basically, we're basically doing what you heard all day. Collaborate, partnerships, get people involved, get them to understand. When we have a Water Protection Steering Committee, and we have 50 or 60 people from all avenues of it, and they talk about the problems and how we can make things better. And basically what we've been able to do, for every dollar that the county has put in, they've raised 3, you know. So that, I think that's a good influence. One of the things I brought up at county council is, you know, we spend probably $10 million in roads, but we never look at our carbon footprint. And I think that should be part of a budget. I think if you're spending that kind of money, you have those many trucks and all the snow plowing and the various things you do, you should have to offset that. And what we're finding with the Resiliency Fund, and some of the people we spoke to, one was a trucking firm. He trucks for Honda just-in-time delivery. And he says, funny you should mention that, but Honda has said to us, we want to know how much carbon you're burning. So, you know, I think the companies, some of the companies are ahead of the curve. And then I'll just finish up talking about the Healthy Lake Huron. And as I say, we give the credit to cottage owners to put some pressures on. And the partners are Environment Canada, Department of Fisheries, and Oceans, Parks Canada, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Natural Resources, Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, 5 conservation authorities, counties, Lambton, Huron, and Bruce, health units. And so what we've tried to do to push that along is form a mayor's committee. I've talked with some of the staff from the ministries, and they have trouble maybe getting through to the top ministers or the deputy ministers. And so they've asked, and so far we've contacted 3 or 4 or 5 mayors, I guess now, and I've asked them when they go to a conference to do some presentations. I hope we can stretch that, because you know, that's quite a piece of shoreline. It would be probably, what, 500 kilometers? Yeah. And so in each of the areas, we have a model that we're working on. That model is there's the numbers. So what we're doing is going right into, on these models, going into the subwatersheds. In the one that we're very familiar with, and that's the Garby Glen. They've actually got 40 owners that they've worked with, got them on board. They've put some money up, and we're pushing now to find financing to get the projects done. And as I said, we are a big farming community, and there's a lot of, along that whole area, Huron County alone has more agricultural products than some of the western provinces. So, you know, we ship beans to England. We ship soys to Japan. We ship salt all over North America. So thanks to Milwaukee and Detroit and Marquette for using salt from our salt mine in Goderich. So those are some of the things we're doing. We think it's time to work with the people of the community to see if we can raise those funds. We still will be campaigning through the mayors as we get more formally put together to get, you know, there's money sitting there. We know there's money sitting in Ottawa in the COA fund, and we just have to get it flowing. So that's basically from a small community and some actions that we're taking, and it's not going to be fixed tomorrow. We basically based the resilience fund and the work over a 40-year period. Sometimes I find it very discouraging because you don't think you're making any headway, but you have to realize it's sort of like eating the elephant. One bite at a time is how you get it done, and I think that's how we'll improve the resilience of our watersheds, and I think that's so important. And I hope we don't make the mistakes of where the city plows ahead and doesn't work with their watersheds around them, because, you know, that can really cause huge problems. You gotta know where that's flowing, and you gotta work with your neighbors and your overall watershed to make sure you cover all the bases. So, because we are really seeing a change. We're seeing, and my people tell me at the Maitland Valley Conservation Authority, they'll see it rain in one place, nothing else around it. Little communities getting flooded that never, you know, used to pray for rain. So there is a change out there. And I think that's something that I don't need to tell you. I think we're all aware after some of the hits that we've been through. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.